To speak out the pessimism you said, Chris, like that's something I've noticed is like even when the Pistons were pretty bad throughout the years, people would still be able to talk themselves into maybe if some things broke right, they could sniff the playoffs. Or the Lions, every year you've got Lions fans saying, this will be the year where they're going to break through. I've just noticed there's like absolutely no optimism with the Tigers right now. And I don't know if that's because just of how upset people are with how things have gone, or if baseball fans are just a little more smarter or analytical. But I've heard like no whispers of the Tigers, like maybe the Tigers could surprise some people this year. I've heard absolutely none of that, which is kind of wild to me because last year there was so much of it where maybe if everything breaks right, the Tigers could win 80, 85 games and sneak into the playoffs. And just a year later, there's absolutely no optimism right now.
You bring up a good point about that, but I think it's because the Tigers took a giant step backwards last year, which is why people are so cynical. People, Detroit in general right now, if you take away Twitter for a second, because Twitter is just a bunch of cynical jerk offs anyways. If you take away that at times, because I'm sorry, it's like sometimes the trolls on Twitter get a little much, and there's a couple of them out there that are be consistently negative no matter what. But for most fans, it it was a long season, and Connor's correct. It resonates more because it was such a long season, but also the offense was historically bad. We're talking 1900s bad. That is, to me, that's like the biggest regret. That right there. Look, if they lost those amount of games and they were scoring runs and the bullpen and based off the injuries and what have you, they would have been entertaining. Then I don't think people would be so cynical. But the fact is, last year, even in the press box, sometimes watching those games, the air would be out of the room so quick. You could drop a pin in there. And so even just to the point of even when we went to the minor league games, we found some games that were much more entertaining. Like West Michigan came back. They were like the comeback kids last year in a lot of situations. The Tigers just and like just like a lot of the fans were frustrated and they had enough because they could tell they weren't putting. I don't want to say. I hate when people they weren't putting 100%. They're just paid athletes and they don't care. And look, if you don't like my mocking mice right now, sorry, I don't care. But the thing is that there is there was a lot of fans last year who were pissed off, and rightfully so. They saw their attitude. If they were close games, that'd be another story. But I think John ultimately because they took such a step back offensively, the cynicism is so high. I don't blame fans whatsoever. One one bit at all.